All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody for joining us today. Exciting things are happening in Cornhill, and this turnout is an example of that. It takes many, many partners between community organizations, elected officials, the community as a whole, to put together programmatic events like this that will change and impact our community for decades. We have quite a long list of speakers today, so I will keep my comments brief, but we are so excited to be here for this ribbon cutting, followed by a walking tour of how the impact centers will affect this neighborhood and all that is to come in the future. We'd like to start off with a blessing, and if I could invite Father Joe Salerno to come up. He's coming.
Good afternoon, everyone. Clergy we're never brief, even when we try to be, but I'll give it my best shot. As a native Utica, as a member of the board of the Community Foundation, and as a person just happy to be here and see new beginnings. That's what this is all about, new beginnings. So we ask God to bless this beginning. Bless it not only this day, but bless it far into the future. That not only this place would be a blessing, but the people who come here, no matter who they are, no matter by what name they may worship or call God, that people may live in peace in this neighborhood, may come together in a unity, that lives indeed would be transformed, especially that of future generations. The children who will live here now and who will live here in the future, again and again. So could we ask all this in God's name, the God of all of us? Amen. Is that short enough?
Thank you, Father. Leading off so many wonderful projects in our community, I'd like to introduce Alicia Dix, the President and CEO of the Community Foundation, to talk a little bit about why we're here today.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for all taking the time on this beautiful day in Utica to be with us. I think the sun is shining for us because it is a new beginning, Father Joe. I appreciate that sentiment. I look around and I am so grateful. Many people here have been part of our journey to get to a point where we can do something in this neighborhood that's meaningful for the residents we're serving. What we've heard over the last 10 years is we need space for programs and services and innovation and collaboration and meetings and gatherings. And it's meaningful, but we need good space, healthy space, accessible space. We're on a journey to build 2 impact centers. Hopefully, within the next few years, we'll see those buildings rise and those programs take suit. But in the interim, we didn't want to wait. We wanted to activate space. And because of so many partners, you'll hear from a lot of them, but I have to call a few out. And again, I could probably say something about every single person standing in front of me. Dr. Barrett, we're with the Equity Advisory Group, so many. But first I have to talk about Danielle and the Homeownership Center, who just recently were operating this space, and shared that they had limited access. It was just not, optimized, and it got us thinking about how can we make this optimal for the community, and what are those services we want to see fulfilled here, because of what the residents tell us, not because of what we're saying they need or what nonprofits say they need. It's really resident driven. And from that conversation, we spoke at the city and said, can we look at this space in a more collaborative way? Can the Community Foundation be a partner to get all of our nonprofits in and out of this space doing programming that, again, is walkable and accessible to the residents we're serving? And the answer was, thankfully, yes, Mayor, and thank you for that. So it's step one of many to bring this community together in a meaningful way and have a place that is a place where hopefully will bring vibrancy, prosperity, and hope into a neighborhood that, as you look around, we really need to build up. And that's what's important for the residents that are here. That's what the goal is to do, is to bring that vibrancy.
Mazel tov.
I'm good. I thought it was maybe I thought it was you for a second. Flash. The other thing I know you're going to hear about with Anthony Pacenti is it's not just about the spaces, it's about the entire environment of our neighborhood. Doing an urban design or a neighborhood plan around building a more walkable, safe environment for our residents to enjoy and connect to these assets and assets throughout the neighborhood is really important. So there are layers and layers of this work that you'll be hearing about over the years, but today we're celebrating the grand opening of the first space that we collectively and collaboratively are offering our partners, and are really excited to be at this juncture today. So with that, I just want to give a shout out to my board. A lot of my board members are here. If you could raise your hands, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here right now. And Father Joe is our chairman, so a little extra shout out to Father Joe. Our team, I want to call our entire staff is almost here. If they could raise their hands, give a shout out to them. Sarah, Tyler Hutchinson, Jessica, the rest of them, they made this happen. So when you walk through the building and walk through the neighborhood with us later, you can see the hard work and the thoughtfulness from the color scheme of the new logos for this work to the layout of the rooms to make it accessible, flexible, and meaningful for those who are going to be utilizing the space. So with that, Jawad is here. Welcome. You made the trip. Can I introduce our former chairman and champion for our Impact Center and Neighborhood Revitalization work, Jawad Rashid. Judge?
Good afternoon, everyone. It has truly been a journey, a real journey. For those of us who have been working on this for over 15 years, this is a remarkable step. This is a remarkable beginning of what we believe will be a very, very impactful presence in this area. We'd like, again, to thank everyone who's been part of this journey, thank those who have joined this journey. It takes truly a village to do what we're doing. No one organization can do this, no one person can do this. And if we want this to be successful, the work has to double down. We have made significant progress, but we are not there yet. We need each and every person in this parking lot, each and every person on the street to join this effort and make this a reality. We are committed. And one of the organizations I work with, the Junior Frontiers, we say we always stand up and we stand out. We want everyone here to please stand up, please stand out. Be a part of this remarkable happening, and let's change the city of Utica, one building at a time, one child at a time, one family at a time, one community at a time. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to be back in Cornhill. I'm sure these folks standing behind me who had a lot to do with this project are super grateful that I get to take the microphone before them. So I'm not here to take credit. I'm here to celebrate it. And I'm telling you, as somebody who is just down the thruway where I grew up, in a neighborhood similar to Cornhill, it was institutions like this that can be transformative. That means that you matter. And it has changed, including my family's trajectory. You know, I was so excited to learn last year about the positive things that were going to be happening. This is one of them. The Impact Center will be another. And my experience for me in my neighborhood, when I was 8 years old, a boys club opened down the street. And it didn't just welcome the kids from my neighborhood, it welcomed them from all around. And just as importantly, it welcomed other organizations that needed a place to sign up kids for Little League and to meet and to talk about learning opportunities. So I'm proud to be here today. We've had tough times in upstate New York, and often those tough times have not fallen on an even playing field. But it's actions like this that level that playing field and make sure that our communities and our cities and our counties and our state and our country are there for everybody. And thank you for having me here today, and congratulations.
Appreciate that. Assemblywoman Bungshaw.
Thank you so much to the Community Foundation, all of my electeds, as well as everyone that is here today. As I look around, I see everyone that is the boots on the ground within our community. So I thank all of you because you understand how impactful today will be and clearly understand it can't be done alone. So with all your collaboration of each one of you being here today, I know what that means. It means you're here and you're ready to be a part of this magnificent journey that as we look at the Community Foundation being the foundation of this. So to everyone, all the best, and I know it'll be the best. Thank you.
Senator Durko, can I welcome you to the podium?
Of course, I want to thank Father Joe for bringing a friend with him that we haven't seen in a long time, the son. This is evidence of a community that truly cares. And it's a result of all of you here and the leadership that is behind you, the county executive, the mayor, the foundation, the neighborhood. It's a result of partnerships, collaboration, investment, and again, the most important thing is an understanding and awareness of how this can make a difference because we care. And that commitment needs to be made and is being made today. So I applaud everyone for what you're doing and will continue to do to keep our community special and to make things happen here that are necessary in order to improve the quality of life for so many. So God bless you, and I look forward to good things here.
So Jawad mentioned that it takes a village, and it certainly does. But in our case, it obviously takes the state, and it takes our federal partners, but it really takes our county and our city and our municipal partners. And I am so thankful and grateful for the next two speakers, the county exec and the mayor of the city of Utica, for their vision and their commitment and dedication to stay the course with this work. So first, I'd love to welcome our partner, Tony Picente, county executive.
Thank you, and let's give Alicia a big round of applause. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be with all of you today, and it is a beautiful sunny day. And there's no question Father Joe brought it with him, so I thank him as well. Thank you, Father. This is a special day in a variety of ways. Lisa touched on it. Jawad did. Everybody has touched on it because I think it's important to look at this in a different way than it has been before. This is not about one block. It's not about one building. This is not about one street, one particular area. This is about all of it. The county, working with the city of Utica, with the mayor, and with the Community Foundation, that you see before you, developed a plan, Cornhill Revitalization Plan. Now, a lot of plans, I know what some people think, you build these plans, you do them, you study them, and they go on a shelf. Not so. This plan talks really about work, about detail, about getting into the neighborhood the way it should be, and the way it needs to be. This was a vibrant neighborhood. I remember it well. It will be again. And it will be because of all of the partners that are here in front of me and those behind me and the neighborhood itself. Oneida County is committed to this, with the city of Utica. We don't just look, it's a big county, but we know where we need to work. And we know what needs to get done. And that means safe streets, walkability, retail that is necessary for families to eat, to shop, to do things, so that you can come out at night at whatever hour. And that's what this plan is going to do for us. We're going to work tirelessly with the partners, with the Community Foundation, with the mayor, to make sure that the aspects of this plan get implemented. This is not just a document. It is a mystery. Remember that? But this is not just a document that's going to sit on the shelf, as I said. This is about making Cornhill what it needs to be, what it deserves. And we are committed to that. I think that most importantly, when you look around at the potential that this area has, the streets that cross this city, that connect one end to the other, make it there. I mean, and the investment that we need to make will come, and we will work with our partners to make sure that it does. So our commitment today, in the beginning of it, with this building, with this empowerment center, and that's a key word, empowerment, because all of us need to use that, because it needs to empower everyone in this neighborhood, everyone in this community and city, to gather up the strength and courage to do what is right, to fix things, to move forward, and not let anything get in our way. And that's the beauty of this organization, the Community Foundation. That's what they do every day. That's what we try to do at the county every day, and I know the city and our partners at the state and federal level can help us do. So I look forward to this. I look forward to the impact centers, which Oneida County will also be a partner. I want to thank Legislator Irwin behind me, who's essential in this, because she gives me the okay to spend the money to do some of these things, and I desperately need that, and she is a fighter for this community, and I want to thank her for that, and we know that there's more good things to come. So congratulations today. Let's not make this is not, I said this about something else this morning, not the beginning, not the end. We're just going to keep moving forward. God bless you.
So next I'd like to invite the mayor, who took a risk with us and allowed us to take the space in concert with the city, and we'll see what we do with it. But we're just elated to be in partnership with you, and I'm going to give you the mic. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. One, thank you. This is a beautiful day that we're all standing here, and I want to reference that this is the first taste of what the Cornhill Revitalization Project has been bottling up into that plan. This is going to be the example of what is to come when the James Street and West Street facilities are complete and we have those first floors active and working for the community. But what I want to speak to today is kind of the story of why we're all standing here. This is a story of putting two and two together, which was seemingly common sense, but I feel like if paths don't cross and conversations don't align sometimes, it doesn't happen. And this was that story. The other thing is the fact that this behind me right now, behind us, what you are looking at, is something that came from this community. Not just from all the meetings of the Cornhill Revitalization Project, not just from the constant outcry and discussions and community meetings. This was very personal to me as a representative. I know the balloons are going to keep popping, don't worry about it. Yeah, no, it's good, right? It's actually heat, man, right? No, so seriously, in 2015, I decided I was going to run for council president. No one knew me as an elected. I was just a musician, engineer guy. And I was like, what are you going to do? I said, I'm just going to walk around and listen to people. And I went nuts walking around and just talking to people. And Cornhill was one of the places that I spent the most of my time knocking on doors and just listening to what people said. And one of those things that was just unbelievably overwhelming was we need to wake up buildings for the community, because where did the Boys and Girls Clubs go? Where did the Y go? Where did, all of the neighborhood centers go? The church basements, it's just not, it's not there anymore. That was 2015. So I get on as council president, total Excel spreadsheet nerd, show everyone my spreadsheet, say, listen, this is what everyone said in these districts and all that. But I kept that idea from this community in my mind. And I never let go of it. 2019 rolls around. The same exact thing, but stronger. Now, just as Alicia said, I want to thank Home Ownership Center for taking care of this property and having it open to the community for all those years. But it was time for a rebirth. And we all worked together to put 2 and 2 together with an idea that was born off the doorsteps of the people who live in this neighborhood. We sat in a conference room talking about buildings we could wake up. And we were talking about the Cornhill Revitalization Project and what the impact centers will provide. And the conversation of how can that be shown before the massive projects are complete, right? And then we said, what about this building here? And Alicia said, well, we're kind of interested in that building. And I was like, well, I could talk to the Home Ownership Center. They like running the building, but maybe like we talk to them about what's going on. And we had a conversation, and then we talked about all the different programs that could be made available. And a lot of the things that the community had said. How come I can't go just make candlesticks for kids, show them how to do that? How come we can't play checkers? If I need help on my lease and I can't figure out my lease agreement, anything, right? Pick something out of a hat. That's what the impact centers are. Why don't we pilot that here? So it turned into a much larger conversation. And here we are today about to do a walkthrough on that coming to fruition. The reason I told 2 and 2 equals 4, putting that together, and this came from people's doorsteps, is this is a story that can keep happening over and over and over again. Nobody should ever be discouraged if today an answer is that might not happen, or tomorrow there's a roadblock. Never forget the things you want to do to help your community. And you will continue to just drive them through more and more people. And when opportunity and conversations and people and funding and community align, that's when you get something like this today. So for that, congratulations.
Oh, all right. We've got 2 other electeds coming up here. Do you want to come up together? Always? All right. Do we need introductions? I think everybody knows. And Venice. Who wants to go first?
I will. All right. Last time I let her go before me, I didn't want to speak when she got done. So I grabbed the mic first. Cornhill Revitalization. I want to thank Mid-Utica and all of the partners. Alicia knows so involved with that. And the last time I stood in front of a podium, we were on Nielsen Street, and I did a beautiful speech. Unfortunately, somebody wrote it for me. And it wasn't Yvonne, somebody else had given that speech to do. Like I couldn't do my own speech, so I read it. It was beautiful, let me tell you. But when you were talking about a lot of the things in the city of Utica, I do remember in Cornhill, we used to have Little League Baseball at O'Connor's Field. We used to have Little League Baseball at the Parkway where we could go play baseball and stuff. We had a Cornhill football team, Pop Warner football team, and we had a lot of other things that we could just go downtown and go to other areas to play. And I tell people all the time, you know, all the schools were open at night when I was growing up at Kimball Park, Kimball School, Roosevelt School, all over the city, and that's where we used to go after we got out of school to do what we needed to do. So the Cornhill Revitalization, I'm so glad this is happening because I believe it's going to give our youth a lot of things to do and a lot of places to go, and it's going to put pride back into the Cornhill neighborhood. Thank you.
As I stand here, I think about being a resident of Cornhill for over 50 years. I've seen them go, our neighborhoods go up. I've seen them come down. I've seen them in the middle. I've seen places leave. I remember when the YWCA was there, Mrs. Updegrove was there. And she taught us, as I say, us roughneck little kids how to be women. She taught us how to cook. She taught us things that were important, those soft skills that a lot of our kids are missing today. So as I look at this building and we're saying we're going to do collaborations, I know that we'll have Mohawk Valley Community Action, we'll have Neighborhood Center, we'll have, I'm pull them all in, Catholic Charities, we'll have Hope Chapel, On Point. Everyone needs to come together. As we look out here, it does not just take people that look like me to make this happen. If we don't do this together, it does not happen. This neighborhood here, I always invite people, come sit on my porch and see the different ethnic groups that walk through hand in hand strolling. And to make this place a safer place, a better place, that's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see that. Alicia, you know, we've gone through those and people say, I can't see it happening. But when you start and you see something that's building and that's happening, and if you look at all the partners that are here, this is going to be a reality. We're going to do this together, the county, the city, the neighborhood, all the fundings. We need your money. So we're going to do this together. And someone said, we're not telling people what they need, we're asking them. What do you need from us? I say us because we're in this together. And the day we stop asking what they need that's when we're going to fail. So let's keep asking them, what do you need from us? All of us collectively. And this is just the beginning. I feel like I'm in Jumanji. Anybody ever seen that? Every level has a different obstacle to go through. We've been through some of those. But we're coming out of Jumanji. And we're going to win this game together. Us. Thank you.
That's beautifully said. Thank you. And I couldn't have said it better. And we say at the Community Foundation, we do nothing alone. It is with almost every partner. I don't want to say this room, but it feels like a room out here in the sunshine. One of our incredibly important partners has been the Mid-Utica Neighborhood Preservation Corporation, which is well represented here. I think Jill and Robbie are hiding somewhere over there, who helped us create a vision of fulfillment on West Street, and we are so grateful. And before I introduce Hilda, who's their chairwoman, I just want to say that she's wearing orange for a reason, so am I. And the mic, I don't know how you did it, but the mic is orange. I think we did that on purpose. Again, the color coordination here, we have blue as well with Leslie, but I'm introducing Hilda Jordan, the chairperson woman for MUNPC. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So I know we're an integrated crowd, so I'm going to teach y'all one thing. We are a responsive community. So when I say good afternoon, you say, good afternoon. Wonderful. My name is Hilda M. Jordan. I'm the proud board chair of MUNPC. I would be remiss if I did not invoke the elders who laid the groundwork for this partnership right now. We've heard about how long it takes. The mayor highlighted a 10-year listening process. I think different folks with the Equity Advisory Group, we've been talking about this for 15 years, longer than that. And I want us to note that this isn't the first time we've invested in our community before. So when I'm going to list a few names in a few key places. And if you remember, I want you to respond back, I remember. The Cosmopolitan Center. I remember. Reverend Up the Grove. I remember. James Blackshear. I remember. These are some of the elders, just a few. I could go on, and if you want to learn about our Black history, I would encourage you to come out to our regular programming here, but our Thursday event tomorrow for Juneteenth, so that we continue to remember. Because I stand here recognizing that I get to step in after decades of work in this community. We are not starting anew. There have been people who have always lived here. I need to give a shout out to my board members. Please raise your hand if you're here. These are the stewards who for 45 years, in the face of budget cuts, divestment, have stayed true to the mission of providing space and programming for Utica's community, for the Black community, for Cornhill's community, for all of us truly. So I thank you all for coming, for continuing the legacy work and building upon what it looks like in this next century. Because I really do believe that the impact centers will be the centers that we all talk about and remember in the same way we remember the Cosmopolitan Center. And honestly, God willing, even with more success and more progress and more continuity. Thank you.
I just have one last thing to add. Together, we can do everything all at once, and we keep talking about that, Hilda, that we all have to work together, and we have to do everything all at once. and it's going to be a long, long journey. So we're in it for the long haul. Thank you to my board for a 30-year commitment in Cornhill. We're here to see it through. Carrie?
All right, we've had so many wonderful remarks. It's time to cut that ribbon. I invite all of you to come up and join me. We are going to take a photograph before we actually do the cut. We have a member of our board here, Mike Bouchard, who also has a plaque to present in honor of today's event. So I'll have Mike present that. And after the ribbon cutting, we invite you all in for refreshments, and then there's going to be a walking tour of things to come in the future here in the neighborhood. So we invite you to stay around for all of those things. Mike?
Alicia, on behalf of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce, our staff, board of directors, panelists, young professionals, group and our ambassadors, our local organizations. Thank you for all you do.
All right, so everybody, we've got a lot of photographs over here. Look over at Nancy. Everybody look over here at Nancy for a photograph. All right, and then on the count of three, we'll all say Cornhill, okay? 1, 2, 3. Cornhill! This summer on July 7th. Thank you all for being here.
How are you?